Greetings. Um, so this is the video production of your reading. Uh, before we before we spoke, I pulled a card for both of us, but yours was the shaman. Oh, that's too close. The Shaman of Wands, and this represents a person who just a liaison in business, a liaison between powerful groups. Just, someone who uses communication, which is interesting because that pulls back. Yeah, I felt a lot of talking, a lot of throat communication. Then after we were on the phone, I felt, well, let me get back to that. So when we were speaking, and you opened a little to my process. Wow. You are the force of multiple people. I seriously, my energy has not been rocked like that the moment you started speaking. So I can imagine, knowing myself, like I can imagine you must rock a lot of worlds. I also felt a lot of magic. So when I pulled, after we were speaking, I pulled another couple of cards, and the Priestess of Wands. And I'm sure you can see how beautiful this card is. Just a healer, magician. Wow, just really beautiful. And that led to, I was curious, and that led to the Shaman of Cups. And this is someone who has to like wear a mask in the world. So it kind of is starting to like really make some sense about just being a liaison between some powerful groups and different systems where you have to put on that like professional face. And so during that process, like I started feeling some different things. I heard, and this might not apply to you because I was kind of tapped into like a wide stream, but I heard Patricia and Elsa, and then I heard a woman, an older woman, say Patricia, and she had an accent, like Russian or something like that. It wasn't, I'm not all too familiar with, breaking those things down, but it felt like an I don't want to say elderly, but it felt like, a grandma type person. And again, that might not have been with you. So then yesterday, I wanted to give you like, real readings. And so I began with like an energy reading. And let me get to my notes on that. Yeah, again, just the force, the sheer force. Like when I started to tap into the channel, it reminded me of how I felt, the first time at the Pacific Ocean, and just the sheer force of energy. You know what I mean? If that makes sense at all. Faster than light, like your brain, and a lot of that reveals in the reading. So much energy, and ooh, like fire. Yeah, so like just faster than light. Very powerful guide. And it was really interesting because I felt like obviously I can learn a lot from you, but when I began to do the tarot reading, it was almost like, because I learned through my own process, but it was almost like, you just wanted me to get out of your way. You know what I mean? Just pull the card, and it was very amusing to me. I felt green talking. I saw a flash of green moss that was really beautiful. Then a flash of Miami, back to the forest and the lake and nature. And so I felt like you probably could appreciate lots of different environments. I don't find you're impatient, but sometimes I wonder about skipping to the end. And that just might be a conditioning from either the speed of your energy, or maybe you used to be that way and you've worked through it. So then the first tarot reading, it was a chakra reading. We started at the root and then we worked up. And your root chakra, and it's really interesting because you pulled a lot of the same cards in 2 different decks. I used the Mother Peace Tarot and the Thoth Tarot from Aleister Crowley. Mother Peace, I think, is Karen Vogel. I'll send links. So root chakra, 2 of Cups, a beautiful card. Love, union, coming together. Lots of water, so that's beautiful. Emotional. We'll go through. I know you're fast. So your second chakra, your sacral chakra, pulled Justice, which is really interesting because that's like balance. You know, really coming into like love and balance. And so I was interested in like your creative center. What are you thinking about creating something new? And then we'll get to that more later. So your solar plexus, the 4 of discs, which really kind of reflects someone who's kind of taking control of their power, being selective about who they're letting in, which is really interesting because it was for this position, your solar plexus, your space of power, you know, getting into your core, just really doing your work and being like really kind of being selective, being secure in that. Then let's see, we had our heart chakra, fire, 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 creation. Oh yeah, this card is just personal power, so it's syncing with your solar plexus, and that's really beautiful. And here's where this got interesting. We moved to the throat chakra, and like 2 cards jumped out. The first one was the 4 of Cups, and it demonstrates like release, cleansing of emotional, just, you know, and since it was in the throat, I was really curious about maybe you're communicating with someone, just cleansing out emo. The other card that came with that card was Judgment. So love, really like, I feel like it's a cleansing of emo and opening to that love. Love, love, love. Love was a lot. Love came up a lot. Let's see, the third eye. And so your third eye space, we have the 5 of Wands. And that is the first sign of like real struggle or conflict. And so I was curious about any kind of worry or anything that's going on. The crown chakra pulled the Devil. And this can be a couple of things. One, this was my first, with your sheer force and light, I was curious about psychic vampires. And so this card, I was wondering if all of this energy is working towards like this creative energy, because the Devil card can be like, you know, there's something going on over here with ego, with like shadow, but it can also be highly, highly creative force energy. And so I wanted to ask the next question, which is it? So we would know how to move forward. 7 of Cups, ideas. Good job. Good job. Totally moving forward with creation, ideas. Then I wanted to offer with the Aleister Crowley deck, and this is one of my favorite decks. This was my grandmother's deck. Crows. So the first card I pulled for you, with this spread, it's a planetary spread, and the first card is the Sun, which is like the self. It's kind of where you are. Universe. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, let me turn the page to my notes. This was really interesting because I started to really kind of tap into this card, and this was the first sign of, I was almost like walking down this staircase here, and I saw a baby. So I got a little bit like, you know, what? So I wanted to ask I pulled another card on that, and we have Adjustment, which is balance, Justice from the other deck. Just really finding that balance. This part's kind of interesting too, because the next card is the Moon, and that represents your shadow side, or the part you're not actually kind of really talking about yet. It might not be, you know, in your consciousness yet. It's the Fool. And what's so great about this, it's like beginning, creation, spirit. It's the, these two are the male and female counterpart, energetically. So, this happens a lot. It's really exciting. Okay, then the next card is Mercury, and it represents kind of like communication and things like that. The Seven of Swords. Futility. And so again, you know, communication, like how are you communicating? Are you, you know, kind of upset or anything? You know,